My name is Ryan Kessler, 38 years old. I resigned from my position as the head chef at the luxury Hotel Gold Precious for certain reasons. Being single, I didn't need to rush to find another job, so I decided to take this opportunity to heal the mental and physical fatigue that had accumulated over the years. I came to a quaint old countryside inn called the Old Grove. This inn is close to a tourist spot where you can enjoy the view of autumn leaves and the ocean simultaneously, and it even has an open-air bath overlooking the scenery. However, although there is some bustle during the peak season, it never gets fully booked, and it is far from being a popular lodging. Recently, a stylish resort hotel was built nearby, and young people who dislike old-fashioned things started to stay away, making the inn's management seem to struggle. But, for someone like me who wanted to escape the hustle and bustle of the city and calmly think about the future, it was the perfect place to stay. Moreover, I was attracted to the food introduction on the inn's website, so I chose this place. I visited a nearby shrine and walked along the leaf-strewn pathway when a young woman with a DSLR camera approached, taking pictures of the scenery. As she passed by, her knit hat fell off. I picked it up and handed it to her. She thanked me and asked, "Are you a guest at the Old Grove?" When I answered yes, she said, "It's an old but lovely place, isn't it? The atmosphere is warm, and the food is delicious," and then she nodded and walked away. Indeed, I also liked the food at this inn. The dishes prepared by the head chef using rustic ingredients from the countryside had an excellent flavor that brought out the taste of the ingredients to the fullest. It felt like the dishes permeated every corner of my body, giving me a supple strength. I couldn't help but look forward to mealtime like a child. I had resigned as the head chef due to a certain incident, and I had come to hate cooking at that time. However, eating such delicious food made my chef's blood boil again. When I returned to the inn after my walk, I saw an ambulance parked in front of the staff entrance. The landlady was talking to an elderly man on a stretcher.
"Chef, hang in there."
It seemed that the man being carried away on the stretcher was the head chef of the inn. Young kitchen staff surrounded him, looking worried. The inn's manager came out and shouted while holding his hand.
"Mr. Matthews, hey, answer me."
The ambulance left the inn with the head chef and the landlady. A female staff member rushed to the manager, who was watching the ambulance leave, and said, "I asked nearby inns and hotels for help, but they all declined as they were fully occupied."
"Today we have group reservation unusually."
The manager looked troubled and said to the kitchen staff,
"We'll have to make do with the people we have left."
The staff members complained, saying, "That's impossible." The manager looked up at the sky and muttered,
"It's over."
I couldn't stand it and spoke to the manager. "Well, would you like me to cook instead?" The manager and other staff members stared at me in surprise. By the time I borrowed a chef's uniform and was guided to the kitchen, we had already significantly exceeded the preparation time. As a result, some menu changes were necessary for time-consuming dishes. What I insisted on was making the food enjoyable not only for the taste buds but also for the eyes. In particular, I used autumn ingredients in the dishes, beautifully cutting and arranging them, decorating the presentation with colorful leaves like maple and ginkgo, creating a picture on the plates. My dishes might not have been as refined as the head chef's, but I made sure the guests could fully enjoy the flavors of the ingredients. When we managed to make it just in time for dinner, everyone in the kitchen celebrated together. The manager, Mr. Thompson, and his wife came to thank me personally.
"Mr. Kessler, thank you so much for today. I apologize for the late introduction. I'm the manager, Mr. Thompson."
"And I'm his wife, Susan. Our head chef had a hypertensive crisis, but thankfully, his life is not in danger and he's recovering." He wanted to express his gratitude to you as well.
The couple bowed deeply. I was relieved and said, "I'm glad I could be of help. And I'm really glad the head chef is all right."
Our guests praised your dishes, saying they were delicious and looked like paintings. Some even took photos to commemorate their stay. Your autumn-inspired dishes were truly artistic and amazing,
said Mr. Thompson, impressed. It wasn't just me. The ingredients the head chef had prepared were all fresh and delicious, and the kitchen staff's skills were invaluable, I said, exchanging smiles with the staff. It was a sense of accomplishment I hadn't felt in a long time. Afterward, I was asked by Mr. Thompson and the head chef to work as the acting head chef for a week until the head chef was discharged from the hospital. I had intended to take a break from cooking and think about my future, but cooking seemed to call me back. The next night, while cleaning up the kitchen, a worried owner lady came in.
One of our regular guests caught a cold and has a sore throat and a slight fever. She barely ate any dinner.
Oh, that's too bad. I can make something warm and gentle for her, I offered. The landlady thanked me and went to the office to get some medicine. A few days later, I went to the break room and saw the staff making a fuss over their smartphones. The landlady came in and scolded them, saying,
"What are you all talking about so loudly? The guests can hear you."
A young staff member excitedly showed us her smartphone, saying,
"Owner lady. Acting head chef. Look at this."
It was an account on a social media platform called 7-Star. According to the staff, 7-Star was a travel and food influencer with 300,000 followers. Her latest post featured our beautiful local scenery and pictures of the dishes and porridge I had made. The caption read, "At my secret hideaway, the hot spring in the old grove, the chef kindly made me lotus root porridge when I caught a cold." The grated lotus root was slightly sweet and gentle in flavor, and the ginger warmed me up from the inside, making my cold disappear. Owner lady,
This must be the porridge you made for our sick guest. So she was the one who... No wonder she was taking care of her expensive camera despite looking unwell.
We exchanged glances. The staff excitedly asked, what was 7-Star like? I wish I could have met her, and continued to buzz. Many good reviews like I'd like to go there. I want to see the beautiful food, live. I think we're going to be inundated with reservations.
You can't expect it to go that well. Now, let's get back to work,
said the owner lady, the innkeeper, not seeming to be too concerned. However, her prediction was pleasantly defied. From that day on, the phone rang non-stop with reservations, and the weekends were fully booked for the next 3 months. In her post, 7-Star also wrote, "The current acting head chef is temporary, but the original head chef's dishes are delicate and delicious too, so you can't go wrong with either. The rustic hot spring is amazing. The inn is well cleaned, and all the staff members are warm and welcome in. I don't really want to share my secret hideaway, but I was so touched this time that I'll share it with my precious friends." 7-Star understood and appreciated the efforts and struggles of the manager, the owner lady, the head chef, and all the inn staff. I was genuinely happy. Until I left this place, I decided to do my best as a member of this inn. The head chef returned to work after being discharged from the hospital. In the morning, all the employees greeted him with applause. He shyly smiled, apologized for being away for a week, and expressed his gratitude. Then, he turned to me, saying, "Thank you so much. You really saved us," and patted my shoulder. I bowed my head, saying, "Congratulations on your discharge and thank you for letting me work in the kitchen." Manager Thompson said,
Mr. Kessler, you did an excellent job. Thanks to you, our inn has gained more recognition and our business is on the rise.
At that, all the employees clapped their hands. At the owner lady's prompting, I shared my honest feelings with everyone. I used to work as the executive chef at a luxury hotel, Gold Precious. I had worked there for many years, but after a new general manager named Wilson arrived, I experienced various harassments and eventually became mentally exhausted and resigned. Harassments included my proposed menus being constantly rejected, false rumors about receiving bribes from suppliers being spread, having high-end champagne stolen from the kitchen staff and planted in my locker to frame me as a thief, and persuading female employees to write in a company survey that I sexually harassed them. The cause of all this was my refusal to compromise on food costs, as Wilson wanted to cut corners. I could have avoided the issue by obeying him, but I didn't want to lower the quality of our ingredients, so we clashed head-on. Wilson seemed to be deeply irritated by me, a younger employee, standing up to him, and his harassment escalated day by day. In that situation, I couldn't focus on cooking and started making more mistakes. I became isolated as the kitchen staff stopped trusting me, and I eventually lost my passion for the job and resigned. However, after coming to this inn and tasting the heartfelt dishes prepared by the head chef, my passion for being a chef was reignited. By chance, I was allowed to work in the kitchen, and I could once again believe that being a chef was a wonderful job where you could create great dishes with trustworthy colleagues and share the joy of seeing customers enjoy them. After sharing my story, I looked at the faces of Manager Thompson, the owner lady, the head chef, the kitchen staff, and the other employees and said, "Now, I can't wait to get back to the world of cooking and hold a knife again. Thank you so much." Then, I bowed my head deeply. Applause erupted and the head chef, looking teary-eyed, approached me.
"How about working here instead? Right, manager?"
He said, looking at the manager.
Mr. Matthews, I would love for you to stay, but we can't afford to hire 2 head chefs.
The owner lady, the innkeeper, interjected, "Don't be so pathetic. We can handle 2 head chefs. Our guests are looking forward to Mr. Kessler's dishes, so let's work together." I was happy but also confused. Then, the head chef said,
"I'm retiring, manager. I'm getting old, and my body has been feeling the strain for a while. I don't want another incident like before. It's time."
Manager Thompson, teary-eyed, asked, "Mr. Matthews, are you sure about this?" The head chef, instead of answering, took my hand and said firmly,
"Kessler, I can entrust this to you. I'm counting on you."
The landlady went to meet 7 Star to thank her for her patronage and to arrange for her to continue promoting the inn long term. 7 Star agreed and promised to post regularly. During their conversation, they discussed Mr. Brown and me.
7 Star said something strange with a scary face. "We must make sure they get their comeuppance." "What does that mean?"
The owner lady said, tilting her head. We found out the meaning 2 months later when 7 Star visited the inn again.
Snow and sea make for a picturesque scene.
7 Star aimed her camera at the snowy landscape, snapped a photo, and smiled at me. I got a call from Mr. Brown at Gold Precious. He wants my forgiveness, and he asked me to reconsider the contract with 7 Star.
I'm not doing this for fun. I can't betray my 300,000 followers by endorsing something I don't believe in.
7 Star said firmly, and continued taking pictures. I was surprised when I received a call from Brown. In a voice I'd never heard before, he apologized for his past actions, praised me for reviving the struggling inn, and repeatedly urged me not to forget him even though I had become famous. Then, he asked me to tell 7 Star about the call. 7 Star had a PR contract with Gold Precious, but after hearing about Brown and me from the owner lady, she decided not to renew it. When the contract with 7-Star ended, Gold Precious would likely face a significant revenue decline. This was the comeuppance that the owner lady had been worried about. 7-Star said as we walked,
I don't work with people I don't trust. You're the same way, right? It's just that simple.
I looked into 7-Star's straightforward eyes and thought, she too takes her work seriously and is proud of what she does.
The inn is incredibly popular now. Reservations are booked solid for the next 3 months.
Thanks to you, 7-Star. As I said this and smiled, 7-Star suddenly took a photo of me.
Mr. Kessler, you have a great look. The media won't leave you alone. It's great publicity. Mr. Brown is turning green with envy.
Embarrassed, I said, I'm not good at that sort of thing. And changed the subject, asking, is it Korea next for you?
Yes, after Korea, I'm going to Taiwan for a shoot.
Marilyn stopped, held out her right hand, and said,
Let's both take pride and passion in our work. When I am tired, I will come back here, and I'll make sure you get to eat lots of delicious food.
I took her hand and nodded firmly. 7-Star got into her waiting taxi. As she left, she rolled down the window and said with a smile, my real name is Emily. See you later, and waved her hand. In the snow, I watched the taillights of the taxi carrying Emily disappear into the distance beyond the trees. Today, as always, I'm grateful to work with trusted friends in a caring environment, holding my chef's knife with all my heart as I savor the joy of cooking. And I want to continue growing as a chef and as a person, putting in even more effort to heal the hearts and bodies of everyone who comes back here through my cooking.